Thank you very much, Vice Chair. Appreciate it. We've got a quorum. Hello, thank you, everybody. The Hawaii County Council is now reconvened. Again, we have about 12 more testifiers here in Hilo. If we could call Mr. Stephen Arujo to come forward to the table, please, along with Nani. Pagli. At the table, we have Stephen Arujo. Who's going to speak on Resolution 270-12, Committee. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the Hawaii
Can you bring
County
the
Council.
microphone a little closer to you, Steve? Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the council. My name is Stephen Aruz. I am the owner operator of D&D Rugby Service. I am testifying today in support of Resolution 270-12. This is a step in the right direction. But I would also like the council to consider auditing the Division of Solid Waste, not only the Department of Environmental Management. And the Division of Solid Waste, this section, this division of the department is the agency in charge of chucking the rubbish to water. Okay. The other section of the environmental management is wastewater. I think you folks want to concentrate on the solid waste division. Yeah? So you should consider auditing the solid waste division, its contracts, its programs, its expenditures, operations, and use of special funds. An audit of any department, division, or government sector is a very useful tool. This provides not only transparency, but it also provides openness in government, and it also provides fiscal responsibility. Being that this council has taken a big step in this direction, would the council consider going a little further in this direction and have a personnel, fiscal, and expenditure audit of the Department of Environmental Management and the Division of Solid Waste done by an independent auditor going back 7 to 10 years. The reason that I'm asking is that this idea of trucking trash from Hilo to Kona began 7 to 10 years ago, when the department said that the Hilo landfill was going to close. A reload station was also built to reload the trucks to transport the rubbish to Kona. Okay, so you see how far back this goes. This is where the idea of trucking trash to Kona started, so maybe this is where the audit should go. I wondered if this council would also consider creating an ordinance requiring a personnel, fiscal, and expenditure audit done by an independent auditor for all the county departments, and this audit be done every 5 years, and also for the divisions of the departments. By creating and passing an ordinance such as this, transparency, openness, fiscal responsibility, and good management practices would be ensured throughout all of the departments, the divisions, and the county of Hawaii.
Thank you so much.
And public trust will be gained. And also, I do support Bill 260, and I also would like to refer the council to look at, and also the people, to look at the state constitution, Article 11, Section 2. Thank you very much.
For your testimony, sir. Nani, I should know how to pronounce your last name by now.
Just say Nani.
Nani.
Bogline.
Bogline. Thank you so much, Nani. Nani's going to be speaking in support of Bill 260. And if I could ask Dwight Vicente to come to the table, please. Good morning.
Good morning. As a second-generation resident of Hawaii, I strongly continue to support 260, the formation of the advisory committee made up of local people in regards to hunting, gathering, and fishing rights. I thank the county council for presenting and supporting this balance for the people of Hawaii. I thank all of the people who have fought for 260 on their own time own dime, caring from their heart. It's simply the right thing to do. May home rule reign and the council of the people live and be significant in the government. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your testimony. If I can ask Leonard Tanaka to come to the table as well. Next sets of fire to speak is Mr. Dwight Vicente to speak on 262-12, 263-12, 267-12, 229, Bill 229, and Bill 258. And I'll ask Mr. Vicente to limit your discussion to each of the items. Please be specific to the items that you're talking about. 262-12 first. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning. My name is Dwight Vicente. I'm representing Hawaiian Kingdom. 262-12. Now, the police department is illegal under the U.S. Constitution, and so is the FBI. You won't find any police force or FBI written into the U.S. Constitution. So as for the police, New York created the first police force in 1840. The Constitution is almost 50 years old. As for the FBI, its intent and its use has gone far and beyond what its original intent was, even though it's not created by Constitution. It was intended to investigate government corruption. Now they're using it for everything else but that. 263-12. The trouble with the elections for the United States is they have only 13 states. What had taken place is the Northwest Ordinance of 1787 that created all the confusion that's going on. The 37 incorporated states are corporations. They're not nation states. The United States is only 13 states. So the people that live within the incorporated states cannot be naturalized. And that's why they call residents. They come from somewhere else. So you're living in a corporation. You become a corporation yourself. You cannot be naturalized. That's why if you look at the state of Hawaii, it cannot naturalize anybody. Hawaiian Kingdom can. But after the overthrow of 1893 or the removal of the Queen, you'll find there's no laws to naturalize anybody under the provisional government, the Republic of Hawaii, the Territory of Hawaii, and even the state of Hawaii. They're corporations. So that's why you have all this confusion going on. The United States Congress and the Office of the President has extra powers not limited by the Constitution under the Northwest Ordinance. And the courts try not to get involved with that because they know that the Northwest Ordinance is not law, has no force and effect of law. As a matter of fact, it violates the U.S. Constitution. Bill 258. Dealing with lands here in Hawaii. Lands are either designated as Crown or government lands. So to have all these unnecessary words on paper they call zoning laws or even creating a planning commission over lands that there's no title to right now. Tax map key is not title. You need a land patent, which is a contract for the use of the land for up to 100 years. And here again, the state of Hawaii is not a nation state, it's a corporation. So everything done in that name is fraud. (267-12). Now here again, to purchase lands, they're either designated as Crown or government lands. And what is the valuation? Is it based on Federal Reserve notes? Is it based on gold and silver? We have a lot of land problems here in Hawaii, all because the true land title is either designated as Crown or government lands. Developments are made in the corporate name of the state of Hawaii, which is another illegal entity, and sometimes in the name of the County of Hawaii, which is another illegal corporation. So I'm going to end with that and reserve the rights of this kingdom under the Queen's protest of January 17, 1893, It is yet to make its way to the U.S. Supreme Court under Article 3, Section 2, Clause 2. Original jurisdiction, but limited to U.S. Minister Stevens. The U.S. Supreme Court has no jurisdiction over the kingdom itself, only over its ministers and councils for the illegal acts they have committed against the Hawaiian Kingdom. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your testimony. If I could ask Andrea Tischler to come forward to the table, please. And our next speaker is Leonard Tanaka to speak on Bill 260 in support. Good morning.
Good morning and aloha, Mr. Chairman and members of the County Council. I had not initially intended to be here to testify, but when I saw this bill come up, being an avid fisher and hunter and advocate for all of our youth, I thought I'd come up and say a few words and comment. First of all, I applaud you for the introduction of this bill creating the Game Management Advisory Commission. I've been a hunter and a fisher most of my teenage and adult life. I've had opportunities to hunt throughout the Hawaiian Islands, parts of the United States, Canada, and also on the African continent. I have a teenage son. Hopefully he'll be here before you one day soon with his Eagle rank. But in the meantime, we enjoy fishing and hunting. Obviously, as locals, it's part of a way of life. Whether you come from Waipio, Kau, Kona, Hamakua, Hilo, Puna, fishing and hunting is not only a hobby for us, but it's a way of subsistence. The young men that you met this morning as part of their not only advancement in ranks to get to Eagle Scout are also trained in specialty areas. Some of them are archery, riflery, and fishing. And those two young men that you met have all attained those merit badges. We are preparing them to be responsible gatherers, fishermen, and hunters as we train them in the Boy Scout program. It is my hope that when this commission is created that there is an avenue for the youth to be heard, the concerns. I don't have the data, but I would challenge that if you looked up on the DLNR records, there is a whole number of youth that have been applying for hunter education, hunter safety, and hunter licenses. But there also are a lot, and I know this from some of our boys that have tried, that have not been able to get to the hunter classes. So two things that immediately come to mind as you create this commission, and hopefully it passes, that you provide increased accessibility for hunter safety and education for the youth. The classes come up only like, I don't know, it's like once or twice a month, and they fill up really fast. And if you're not right on the phone, making that phone call and trying to get through the busy signals and put in your name, you won't get in. The second would be accessibility to hunting areas. It's diminishing here on the Big Island. Our boys cannot afford to go to Canada to hunt or to go to Montana for elk. They need to be provided accessibility here on the island. So I appreciate your concern in this area, giving a voice to our hunters, but please also allow provisions for the youth to be heard. Mahalo.
Thank you very much for your testimony, sir. If I could ask R.J. Hampton to come forward to the table, please. Our next testifier is Andrea Tischler to speak on Resolution 270-12 in support and Resolution 262-12 in opposition. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Chairman Yagong. Appreciate the opportunity to speak today. In regards to Resolution 270-12, I support the request for an audit of the Department of Environmental Management. An audit is necessary because of the lack of governmental transparency, which Mr. Palago and others on the council have been working to correct for many years. Secretly trucking rubbish from the east side to the west side without public hearings demonstrate our elected and appointed government officials' disregard for the public interest. Basically, they don't care what we think or want. This was not supposed to be an autocratically run or top-down government. We need to get to the bottom of this rubbish pile. And please support the Ms. Smart's Bill 263 to tighten up the scope and duties of the Environmental Management Commission, particularly when a pilot project is being run. And then on Resolution 262, I stand opposed to 262-12. I stand opposed to provide office space for the FBI in the Hawaii Police Department in Hilo. The reason for this is that I see it as a potential for surrendering even more of our freedoms and rights to the federal government. I do not understand why the local police department want to collaborate with the FBI. The only law enforcement agency that I can think of that is more incompetent than the FBI are the two Scotland Yard detectives, Johnson & Johnson, in the Tintin adventures. You don't know about Tintin, I take it. Having the FBI in this town is an intrusion of home rule and goes against the wishes of the majority of the East Side residents. The only FBI that I want to see in Hilo is a local brada wearing an FBI t-shirt from Big Island. Mahalo.
Thank you for your testimony. If I could ask Robert Patrici to come forward to the table, please. Our next testifier is R.J. Hampton to speak on Resolution 262-12 and 253-2 and Bill 260.
Yes, Chair.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I'm going to deal with Brittany Smart, Councilman Brittany Smart's Resolution 253-12. This one really caught my eye because I'm aware of the grant writing procedures and what this whole thing with the nonprofit has been through my working with Emily and also working with Mr. Hendricks and other people who are familiar with it. I don't understand this resolution only in the sense that it's a resolution saying everybody do what you say you're supposed to do in the ordinance in terms of the county nonprofit program. What I see here is an inability to really understand what resolutions are for. They're supposed to have some kind of set policy, but we do have a policy for doing nonprofit reporting. I think that if I had a resolution, I would want to add something new to it, which to me would be, what is the purpose of this nonprofit in awarding this money? I always thought when I was dealing with it and with the ad hoc committee, is that we were looking for new people, that we were looking for new things. That since the money has been reduced so much, that perhaps we don't keep giving the money to the same people every year. Or that perhaps what we do is we look at the amount of money that they are requesting and the amount of money that they're capable of receiving from the federal government, from the state, and from also the county itself. Some of these people's representation in terms of them coming to the trough, to the local trough, is that it is an infinitesimal amount of money that they are actually represents their entire budget. I don't know if you're following me here, but what I'm looking for here is a resolution that's going to say we're going to stop giving the money to the privileged and those that are already getting a lot, and then we're going to use this money, not squander it, just to be okay with a nonprofit who may be acting like a political action group, or that you might get some funds if you augment their program. I have seen for myself, and I'm ashamed to say that I have talked to the man and told him, we know what we need to do in that nonprofit. It's not a resolution to do your job, or to have an important person like the legislative auditor auditing people as to whether or not they're actually getting results in their programs. It's ridiculous. Just do your job, follow the ordinance, and go for it. Bill 260, of course, we would love to see an advisory commission and a game management and everybody getting involved. But the question you have to ask is whether or not